This is a Duckie Hat presentation. Be sure to click on the like and the subscribe buttons.
¿Qué día fue ese? Uf. Adelante, soldados cristianos. Vamos por el párate. En Cristo. Para lo que somos llamados.
What? What did you say? Is that Spanish you're speaking? I didn't know you could speak Spanish.
I can speak Spanish and French. What I said in Spanish was...
I can speak French, but not Spanish. I'm about to take a course in speaking Spanish. Oops, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
What I said in Spanish was... Onward, Christian soldiers. Let's go for the stand. In Christ, for which we are called.
Allons-y pour le stand in Christ, pour lequel nous sommes appelés.
So, Pastor, what are we going to be talking about today?
We are going to talk about what it is to love your enemy. The previous Duckie Hat video, entitled Love Your Enemy, didn't really discuss what love is.
What? What do you mean? Are there different types of love? Huh?
You know there are different types of love. What we will be talking about today is agape love, instead of man's natural love.
Pastor, would you define what the difference is between agape love and man's natural love?
Okay. Not only will I give the definition of agape love, as it is in contrast to natural man's love, I will also give a sermon on the subject. And as I'm giving the sermon, I expect you to hear the sermon and memorize it. Then interpret the sermon for our French listeners. That is, speak it out in French.
Why do you want me to interpret the sermon in French instead of Spanish?
Because I need to practice my Spanish. I hope that I get all the words right. When I speak them from my interpretation of my sermon in Spanish, I'll do my Spanish interpretation after you do your French interpretation. Since you know Spanish, as well as French, you can then tell me, did I get all the words right? I will entitle this sermon, Love Defined. Did you know that perfect love casts out fear? 1 John 4:18 from the King James Version of the Bible, states, there is no fear in love. But perfect love casteth out fear. Because fear hath torment. He that feareth is not made perfect in love. So from this Bible verse we already see a contrast between agape love and man's natural love. Let me be vociferous in what I'm saying. Man's natural love is sometimes filled with torment. An example of that is when people are dating. One of the people in the dating relationship, even though both people state they love each other, one of the people in the relationship can torment the other with unkind words and/or unkind actions. So this shows that man's natural love is not the love being expressed in the Bible. As we see in this example, man's natural love contains torment and fear, so it is not a perfect love. Perfect love can also be called agape love, that is the love God has for you. God's love for you is perfect. You know what? I'm now going to interpret what I just stated, that is the beginning of my sermon, in Spanish. The reason is, I don't want to get my words wrong, in Spanish. However, I will attempt my Spanish interpretation after you interpret the beginning of my sermon in French. Then?
Then, what do you mean by then? You want me to interpret now, in French? Wow, right now. Well, here goes.
À partir de ce verset biblique, nous voyons déjà un contraste entre l'amour agape et l'amour naturel de l'homme. Laissez-moi être bruyant dans ce que je dis. L'amour naturel de l'homme est parfois rempli de tourments. Un exemple de cela est lorsque les gens sortent ensemble. L'une des personnes dans la relation amoureuse, même si les deux personnes déclarent qu'elles s'aiment. L'une des personnes dans la relation peut tourmenter l'autre avec des mots méchants ou des actions méchantes. Donc, ce spectacle montre que l'amour naturel de l'homme n'est pas l'amour exprimé dans la Bible. Comme nous le voyons dans cet exemple, l'amour naturel de l'homme contient des tourments et de la peur, ce n'est donc pas un amour parfait. L'amour parfait peut aussi être appelé amour agape, c'est-à-dire l'amour que Dieu a pour vous. L'amour de Dieu pour vous est parfait. Nous voyons donc que l'amour de l'homme naturel n'est pas parfait car il a peur. La Bible déclare que l'amour parfait chasse la peur. 1 Jean 4h18 de la version King James déclare: Il n'y a pas de peur dans l'amour. Mais l'amour parfait bannit la peur. Parce que la peur tourmente. Celui qui craint n'est pas rendu parfait dans l'amour.
What a nice interpretation, your memory is excellent. Excellent memory. Now I will try to interpret the beginning of my sermon in Spanish.
Voy a titular ese sermón, Amor definido. ¿Sabías que el amor perfecto echa fuera el temor? Un Juan 4:18 de la versión King James de la Biblia, afirma: No hay miedo al amor. Pero el amor perfecto echa fuera el temor. Porque el miedo tiene tormento. El que teme no se perfecciona en el amor. Entonces, a partir de este versículo de la Biblia, ya vemos un contraste entre el amor agape y el amor natural del hombre. Déjame ser vociferante en lo que estoy diciendo. El amor natural del hombre a veces está lleno de tormento. Un ejemplo de eso es cuando las personas están saliendo. Una de las personas en la relación de noviazgo, aunque ambas personas afirman que se aman. Una de las personas, en la relación, puede atormentar a la otra con palabras o acciones desagradables. Así que esto muestra que el amor natural del hombre no es el amor que se expresa en la Biblia. Como vemos en este ejemplo, el amor natural del hombre contiene tormento y miedo, por lo que no es un amor perfecto. El amor perfecto también puede llamarse amor agape, ese es el amor que Dios tiene por ti. El amor de Dios por ti es perfecto.
So what do you think? Did I get my Spanish right as to interpreting my sermon?
So what do you think? Did he? I'm going to state that the pastor did get his Spanish interpretation right. Well done, Pastor.
Remember when you asked about the then? That was just before I asked you to interpret my sermon in French.
Well, yes, I do. I did ask you what you meant by stating then. And that was just before my French interpretation.
The word then that I referred to earlier is now apropos, as it fits now in what I'm now going to tell you. This sermon is not concluded, we've just begun to express what love is. So you will have to watch for my next video on what love is. Also, you see the two Duckie Hat videos that just came up or are coming up on your screen, click on them.
Savior, like a shepherd, lead us. Much we need thy tender care. In thy pleasant pastures feed us, for our use thy foes prepare. Blessed Jesus, thou hast bought us, thine we are. Blessed Jesus, thou